What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Sim Standard Podcast. Of course, I am SimFBallCritic, waiting for Smitty to come on as well as AzureEffect. Y'all might have seen me swing as the episode started. It's a fly in here driving me crazy, man. I don't know where he came from, but it is what it is, man. But listen, we got a lot to talk about tonight, guys. Happy that you guys are here. Hopefully you guys are going to enjoy the show, which that's what we aim for. And hopefully, some of you guys, will be a part of the show tonight. So we'll see how that goes. But basically, what we're going to talk about tonight, man, let me get to the topics here. We're definitely going to go into the NBA 2K18, MyGM, and MyLeague blog. Give our quick thoughts on that. I would imagine we'll probably do it similar to, what I did in the video I put out today for you guys that saw it. Kind of break down some of the things that catches our eye and just talk about the whole nuance of, 2K Sports, what they're doing with their franchise mode versus what we don't see from Madden. We'll dive into that. So that should be cool. We're also going to talk about 2K taking shots at EA. I don't know if any of you guys really paid attention to that, but there were a couple things that they said in the vlog near the end that, definitely was taking shots, I believe, at EA Sports. Listen, that's what we want, but we'll dive a little more into that. Also, guys, what we're going to talk about is the Madden 18 player ratings. I've seen a lot of back and forth with that, so we want to dive into that topic just a bit, as well as we'll talk about the controversy in the community right now with the Madden 18 game styles. The community is going crazy with that already as well, and you guys haven't even seen it, so we'll dive into that. And then last but not least, and this is no particular order, we'll talk about Madden 18, the legacy gameplay fixes. There was a blog that went out today as well in regards to that. So we got a lot to talk about, man. So just give me a moment here, guys. I'll check in with you guys here in the chat. And we're just going to, try to get Smitty on here real quick. I'll stall just for a few minutes. Wait till we get Smitty on and really dive into everything. But yeah, a lot to talk about, man. And also, hey, for some of you guys, your football team training camp has started. So I'm sure you guys are happy and excited about that, just like I am. The Steelers get underway tomorrow, so that'll be cool. So let me see what you guys are saying so far here in the chat. Let me take a look here. All right, Steve Antonio says the sound is out. I'm not sure why, my man, because it was fine on my side. So not sure. Maybe there's just an issue you're having on your end. What up, Bob Davis? Jump 2 Raw was good. Hey, there goes Smitty. We got Smitty in here now. So we'll go ahead and kick it off, guys. Like I said, I wanted to wait for my homie because it's a lot to talk about. I mean, it's a ton. And we're not even going to do any introductions. We're going to dive right into it, Smitty. I'll just go over the, the topics real quick, in case you didn't have a chance to see the write-up, which we kind of talked offline. But
yeah,
I told everybody that we'll dive into the blog by 2K. Basically, I guess we can go through some of the things we like about it or just overall what they're doing in franchise. And, I'm sure we'll correlate that with Madden in terms of what Madden is not doing. Let me say this real quick too, Smitty. I think it's important for us to say this early, in case there's some guys who are going to watch for a second and leave. We got to stop with the whole why can't Madden or why aren't they? What I'm trying to say is we all know the answers. Like, we all know right now that they didn't focus on franchise heavily this year. We know that. We all know that franchise hasn't been the huge focus over the last couple years. They did have that 1 year where they implemented some stuff, then it's been stagnant. So what we need to be doing now is forcing the hand. Like I said, I'm going to dive into that. I'm going to save a little bit of that until we get into the topic. But, guys, stop asking the same questions over and over and over. I mean, if I get tired of it as a viewer, I can only imagine it's falling on deaf ears, to the devs. Stop saying the same thing over and over, especially when the information is out there. For any information that's already out there, why are you still asking the question? Now, it should be about taking the next step and forcing the hand of the suits. But we'll dive into that. But then also, Smitty, I want to talk about 2K taking shots at EA, because Smitty brought this to my attention earlier and I missed it, but then I read the whole blog and I know exactly what he's talking about. So we're going to dive into that. We'll probably link those two topics together. We'll talk about the Madden 18 ratings, whether it's the rookie ratings or just ratings in general, Smitty, because I saw it's a crazy overreaction to that as well. Of course, the Madden gameplay style controversy within the community. We'll dive into that. And then I want to talk about the blog that EA put out as well with the legacy fixes. Didn't show us everything based off of what Rex said, but it did give us a glimpse of some of the main, community requested things. So that's what we're going to do, man. So I guess, Smitty, man, we might as well start at the top. We're already there. Let's talk about this 2K blog, man. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up here just to make sure I got it in front of me. I mean, Smitty, I don't even know. It's almost like I'm speaking to myself, because I know you already know where I'm going with it. I've been saying forever, MyLeague to me right now is my favorite franchise, period. I did see a guy, however, Smitty, leave a comment on my video, and he said that MLB The Show's franchise blows 2Ks out the water. I'm not qualified to answer that, so maybe some of you guys in the comments can answer that. But I also specifically said, basically, based on the games I play. Let's be honest. All of us here tonight, we play what? Madden and 2K. So basically, it's a couple games that I'm talking about. Now, when I looked at it, man, I will be honest in saying too, Smitty, I've never played MyGM. So I honestly don't know what's new and what's not, or what's just refined. But I have played MyLeague, and I definitely see a couple things in there, man, that appears to be new. One of the two things, actually, well, three things that really caught my attention. And guys, I just breezed through it. I didn't, dissect it all the way yet. But I noticed that MyGM, how the narrative is based on a former player. And that right there, Smitty, made me think about you. And I said it in my video, in case you saw it. You always refer back to old Maddens. When just last week, you were saying when Dion could come back and pop up as an assistant or something like that. That's it right there. Now, whether or not they do it that way, as far as it actually being somebody they play, but basically it is still that narrative. It's still the narrative there that it shows that these type of things should be possible. You should be able to have a storyline like that. You play CFM or franchise mode and get whatever game you're playing. And then this player can retire early, later on become a GM or become, a manager in baseball or whatever other sport. That's crazy. That's immersion. Another thing that caught my eye, man, is that, let me find it here. Analytics tool. That's crazy. Now, for you guys that haven't seen it already, I will read you real quick what it states. It says the NBA 2K18 features an analytics tool allowing you to plot any two statistics, metrics, or vitals. And they give the examples of age, height, and weight against each other. In the above example, points per game have been plotted against three-pointers made per game, allowing you to quickly find the three-point scorers who are volume scorers. And then it says, summon your inner Daryl Morey and create your own plots to come up with the unique scouting data to help build your team into a contender. Now, all I'm going to say, Smitty, for us football guys, think about that being in Madden in terms of scouting and things like that. Ridiculous. Then this might seem like a minor thing to some, Smitty, because like I said, I'm not even going through all this because I know there's going to be some things you're going to point out. So I'm really just pulling back. This feature here that says the player create added to MyLeague. So you can now create a player even in mid-season and add this guy to your current season. And I'm thinking for guys like myself, I know Smitty has done it, like played with updated rosters that the community makes. Now you don't even have to deal with that. You can do it yourself. Just right now, some of y'all know sometimes I stream NBA 2K17. I got the latest rosters. I started the new MyLeague with my Sixers. And I got folks. But then I had to start it over because then we got JJ Redick. So I was like, oh, let me start over and play with him. Now you won't have to do that. You could actually create the player yourself and add him into your current season. And little stuff like that. And the reason why I wanted to point out a little thing like that, Smitty, is because it just goes to show you that how much depth they actually had, that they could even focus on something that small to, you know, appease the community. And those are just a couple of the things that, man, that jumped out to me. It's plenty more, but like I said, I know with you diving deep into basketball, I know there's probably a lot of things that you want to say. So the floor is yours, man. How do you feel in general about the blog, the information that was shown, and, you know, just what 2K has been able to do with MyLeague over the last couple of years?
Well, first thing I'll say, first and foremost, there's an NBA Live event going on down at Orlando. Dude's been tweeting about certain restaurants and spots down there that Sim and I know about.
You ain't hear from me. You ain't hear from us. we just speculate.
So NBA Live, EA need to come on with that information, and they need to go ahead and drop. You can't. You're not ahead. You got to drop the info. So that has to happen, like, real soon. As far as this 2K blog and everything, you know, see, all of this is cool, and I love it all. The contracts. I mean, look at all these. Look at these contracts. Like, they took the stuff that's literally happening now. Super contracts. The two-way contract. They just announced that stuff the other day. They got that in the game. You see what I'm saying? Like, all these different things. You have hardship exceptions, and then you could practice a play as a creative player, like you said, the quick editing that they did, the relocation stuff. So you can relocate the all-star courts. They pick different arenas each year, and they do the whole presentation bit and everything and make a big deal of it. You know how players change up their gear over the course of the season, and they have tendencies to do that. You have tendency settings for that for the player. So it's like all of these different things are in there. But that's why I said 2K's most consistent stuff is that, without question. But don't mean a dang thing if the gameplay ain't tight. What do these analytics mean, Sim? If you playing and you know you get frustrated at the same stuff that we all been getting frustrated at, who's going to give a care about an analytics tool if you got dudes that you beat off the dribble and they're making these illogical decisions and everything? Well, if they're doing all that and you use this analytics tool, you're going to be like, well, yeah, I could tell you why his stats look like this because the way the game plays is like X, Y, Z. So this is what I'm saying. We'll talk about the shot taking later, but this is the thing. You can do all of that. You can give all these features and everything else, but you got busted servers that haven't been working for the online people. So those are your online franchise people, your online leagues, your my players, my teams, all that good stuff. If it's not working, then it don't mean a darn thing. And you know what's funny is that, especially Shakedown will share tweets and he'll do videos of this at times. Well, he did it at least like a year or so ago, and they were talking about the servers being messed up. And I said back then, you know what? I think they do in MyLeague. They got all this stuff because their online servers, they're jacked up. This is why they did all that. Because if it's messed up, you can fall back on this. And it's like, you've seen people in Shakedown's video straight up saying, man, where live at, man? EA need to come on. Well, guess what? You see what I'm saying? You got Live 18. You got other options now. Now we need to see some gameplay. They got to show something. But the main thing is that with NBA 2K is that there are all these nuances and problems that aren't fixed. And yes, I could spend a few hours in off season and just be in heaven. I'll tell you this right now. If 2K was a text to sim game like out of the park baseball, oh, bravo. Great game. everything's set, everything is all good. But because it's not, sorry, 2K, you got that gameplay component. I mean, look, I see people talk about NBA Live with the torsos and all that being stiff and everything, but who cares about a torso being stiff when you got animations where you got the ball, you steal it, you're in a wide open fast break, and the game makes you slow down, hunch your back over, and dribble all slow. That's 2K. What about when you blow past a defender and you drive to the rack, all of a sudden they make this two-man animation happen where they just catch up and swipe the ball from you as you go up for a layup. See, if you got stuff like that going on, what about rotating off of screens? You know what I'm saying? How about that? Defensive rotation off screen. What about actually attempting to close out on jump shots? Instead of having your guy stand there, stutter step, doing the defensive stance, walking up with the duck waddle and everything. No, I want to see him run out and contest a shot. It doesn't matter if he sucks at playing defense. He still is in the NBA. He still knows, players know how to contest shots. They make players like Ryan Anderson, guys that are not good at playing defense, they make them look so terrible. And it's like, so if you're not going to have these things fixed and work with consistency, because that's the key thing here. We talk about Madden all day, every day about what it does good, what it does bad, and all that. So we do all that. But like what Sim made this point with Madden 16, and we spoke about it offline, and we even said it on the show. Madden has better consistency with their gameplay. Like, it's way more consistent with its functionality over 2K. Now, 2K is a better looking, yeah, because all those animations look cute. But it ain't cute when all these different aspects and stuff are broken, and you got guys like OG and Czar sitting online talking basketball and all these different things over the course of the NBA season, but the game ain't working right. See what I'm saying? So that's the issue. That's the issue that I have when it comes to NBA 2K. Yes, I love this blog. This is an outstanding blog. I was really happy, and that's why I said
on the surface, it's good, man.
Yeah, depth and immersion. And see, that's the thing. Full confidence. I'm fully confident that all this stuff is going to work. I have no problem with this side of the game. But the problem that I have is the part that matters the most is the gameplay. Because if the core gameplay doesn't function right, who gives a care about playing season 1, season 2, season 3? It's not going to matter. That's why me personally, I'm glad that Live is there. Because now I can sit on my hands and wait on 2K. I'm going to sit back and wait and see what the people say and how they're feeling about the game past the little honeymoon stage and see how consistent the gameplay actually is. Not just, hey, man, this looks good. No, I need to see legitimate basketball going on consistently for a minute before I decide to go ahead and say, yo, I'm going to go ahead and pick up that 2K. And it's because the game should be, I'm sorry, 2K should be way better. Like they had it best on Gen 3. And it's like when they went over to Gen 4, they're still trying to find the stride. But at this point, I feel that they need to go to a new engine. And they need to refine their animation system. Like I've said the same thing for nearly 6-7 years. What they need to do. And it's like they still haven't done it yet. And if they do it, they'll have a great game. Refine your AI, especially for the user. Fix your animations in terms of how they work with each other. And you have yourself one of the best games, best simulation sports titles out there. It gets the kudos. It gets its kudos and everything in the industry. But at the same time, it should literally be leading the industry. Like they should be that good right now. And they're not. Because of its malfunctioning that goes on. Media credibility, and that's by people that basically play the game for 15 minutes and they're done. But people that really play the game can truly tell you really tell you what the deal is with the game. And there's a lot more work that needs to be done with it as far as the core gameplay. Everything else is great, but they got to do a lot more with the core gameplay. And until they do that, that's why when people keep asking the questions, Sim, like, how come Madden ain't got franchise and it ain't like this? Because we all said many times over, you got to get the gameplay right first. They're lacking so many things in the gameplay area. They got to get that right before we could go on and even talk about franchise. Because who's going to play franchise if the gameplay doesn't, fit the mold? Like, it has to fit the mold before we can actually transition and say, you know what, this gameplay is carrying good enough now to the point where we can go ahead and focus on franchise. And like what Sim said, and we've all said it, now they can focus in on it. But all they need to do, Deuce Douglas. And I'm saying this right now. I hope Rex tunes in on some point or whatever. Honestly, or John White as well. Every community event that they have this upcoming year, or whatever it is they do for franchise, Deuce Douglas needs to be at least invited to every single one. He needs to be right there front and center.
Yeah, absolutely.
Flat the heck out. Because what he said is literally what needs to be done. That's it. Like, real talk. Unless somebody got something different or better than what he's talking about, that's what literally has to happen. Year 1, we did this. Year 2, we got that. Year 3, we did. Okay, bet. Because it's going to take years, people, so don't even worry about it. It's not going to be a one-trick pony and then they got it. No, it's going to take them time. All this stuff in this blog we talking about for 2K, this spans back to Gen 3. Bird rules and all that stuff. That was in Gen 3. That just ain't happened 2 years ago. This took them a mighty long time to get this system. It went from association to the MyGM / MyLeague. It took them a good minute to get this game to that point, to get these functions to that point where now, look at how seamless they can add stuff. We just find out about some of these rules and everything. Oh, by the way, we got these contract types. We got this, like, they brought back the D-League. You can't play it, though. You can send your players down there, but you don't play it. It's just you send them down and they get to play their games, develop or whatever, which is cool. I'm fine with that. But all these different things, cap holes, renouncing rights, and they improve the draft class generations and stuff like that. Like, I mean, this stuff, let me see, hold on. Let me just scroll up. Yeah, you talked about oh, this is it right here. Stashing international draft prospects. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
Details,
Stashing that,
baby. They got
that's what I'm saying. Free agent moratorium. All the build up and the hype. Oh, so-and-so's going over here. This is rumored to happen. 3-team deal and all. Come on. Signing trades. And 2K got it in there. They'll do sign and trade deals and all that stuff in their game. It's in there. So that's the stuff that we said. I even did a feedback video to the live devs and said, I'm like, look, I know it's going to take y'all a minute, but even though you guys been away, y'all need to do whatever it is you could do to get what's in the NBA in the game. Because this is not saying, yo, do what 2K did. This is what the NBA does.
Yeah.
This is
replicate
NBA.
The sport.
Yeah. So do what you can to at least get on that path of replicating all the ins and outs and happenings in the league. More than just a little slider that you move from left to right and that's it. It needs to be a lot more that you can do, especially in the offseason, because that's just like what we say about the Madden, well, not Madden, but in the NFL. For some of us, the season for us is the offseason. We look forward to those prospects, the pro days, the combines. You know what I'm saying? Then the draft. Like some people, that the Super Bowl is the draft for them. That's the huge thing for them. They got their boards and all that stuff. So, but yeah, man, that's my whole piece. That's my whole piece on it, man. I'll throw it back to you, Sim.
The funny thing is, man, people who've been watching us for a long time, they understand the chemistry and how we work. That's why I ain't say much. I already knew where Smitty was going with it. And everything that we say is always full circle. I keep telling y'all this, whether y'all want to believe me or not. The most transparent YouTubers y'all going to find. Because we don't have one way of seeing things. We also are not blinded by the wool pulled over our eyes by any company. And remember what I just said that, because I'm going to come back to that. But basically none of it matters if the gameplay is not up to snuff, period, in any game. And it's going to be the same thing for Madden. How many times have y'all heard me say right here on this show, I want all that. I want each and everything that Deuce Douglas has given. We all want that. But if the gameplay doesn't allow you to replicate these off-field changes, I don't need it until the game can do that. Now, I asked a couple people in the chat, what makes 2K great? Because I've seen a couple people here say, man, it's phenomenal, da, 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 da. Now, y'all know me. Y'all know Smitty. Y'all know Azure. We want to know why. It's not questioning your opinion. It's not saying one is right, one is wrong. I want to know what makes the game great. I asked this about every game. I've asked people that about Madden that told me the game was great and that told me that was bad. And that's a reason why I asked. Because a lot of times people don't take the time to recognize the issues, right? So I'm going to read to y'all real quick in case y'all missed them in the comments. And I'm going to come back. It's the reason why I'm asking this. So my man, Sean Deveron Shear says, he said 2K was, let me find this comment. And this, again, this is not picking on anybody. This is what this forum is for. We're just having a discussion. I asked him, I said, so what's great about it? Right? He says, let me find it here. The fact that you can do anything with the ball. If I want to step back, I could do that. If I want to cross over, I could do it. I can lay it with either hand, the screen, slip, roll, and ice. Good stuff. However, if you ask me, I don't think 2K always gives you the user control I would prefer. Nobody ever mentions how much animations dictate the game. How many times have you played the game? How many times have y'all heard me say this? They change your shot for you. I'm trying to bang it. They lay it up. They throw me into this interaction. I'm trying to do a crossover. They throw me into a crazy interaction. I'm trying to pass it. I'm stuck in this animation. Ball tangibility. Just those little things. Now, I'm not going to go that far into that. So another guy says here, let me find it here. He says, his name is Stevie Antonio. And he says 2K has signature styles. Let me know when NBA Live gets rid of those god-awful robotic animations. Again, this is not to pick on anybody, but animations is not the sole thing that makes a game great, in my opinion. To me, what makes a game great, MLB does a good job with it, and I've been told MLB has flaws, which I'm sure it does. A great simulation game to me is how well it replicates the real sport, both visual and actual gameplay. MLB does a phenomenal job with that, with the pitching, the hitting, the location of the ball, the way that game animates, the AI. They do a great job with that. FIFA, in my opinion, does a great job with that. I don't know all the rules of soccer, so I can't really say some of those things, but just the way it looks. NBA 2K does a phenomenal job with the way it looks. But what does it share that Madden has shared in the past years, and even in Madden 17? I already said it. Ball tangibility is very selective. You get stuck in animations that you can't get out of. People warp through bodies and anything else that's in their way to finish out an animation. Mm-hmm. All of these things. The passing, in my opinion, is horrendous at times. All of these things that kill your experience. So I can't give 2K the great title. I can't. But what do we always say? They right there. They this close, man. This close. If they can address those things, and let's not forget their online servers. If you can get that stuff, oh, the game is out of here. Phenomenal. Because it has the details. It has the depth and modes. I mean, they got more modes than you even can touch. How many of y'all have touched every mode in 2K? I know I haven't. Pretty solid game. But what I'm saying is, the reason for me saying all of that is where we got to start. And listen, some of y'all will never get here. Let's just be real. You know, I'm going to say it, we're going to just call it like it is. You know, y'all know I always refer everything back to either women or games. I mean, or music, because I know those industries the same. Let's talk about music. Some people this is hot as they gonna get. They ain't never gonna be able to rap like Kendrick Lamar or J. Cole or Lecrae. They ain't never gonna be able to rhyme like them. I don't care how much practice, you just don't have that mindset. You're never gonna be there. Some people are gonna be Trinidad James. It just is what it is. So some of you that watch the show, rock in the community, some of y'all that never see it that way. What Smitty and I try to do is show it to you from a more open perspective. Like, a lot of people say things are great, but then they don't really define the things that should make that game great. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and maybe what I'm asking for, Smitty, and what you asked for is not possible in video game shit. That might be the case. But I'm tired of being stuck in animation. I'm tired of putting in input and the game does something totally different. Tired of that. You know, I'm tired of fatigue not really making a difference. Because even though it's in 2K and what they did with fatigue is out of here, but let's be honest. Have y'all really seen the effect of that when you play the game? Well, a little, but not necessarily. And again, some of the stuff that I'm saying, it might not be possible. Don't even get me started on Madden, because it's some stuff that I would like to see might not ever happen in anybody's football game. But that's all I'm saying, man, is when we ask these questions of people, we're asking for a reason. And a lot of times I don't get the core meat and potatoes of gameplay when people tell me a game is great. I had people tell me with Madden, Smitty, man, they don't need to do nothing now, but just focus on CFM, that's it. I'm like, what? You know how much more gameplay stuff they need? So what I'm saying is, guys, sometimes we just not gonna be on the same page, because I can't sit right here and say 2K is a great game. No, I can't. It's a very good game, and in principle, and it is close. Now, before some people try to attack us, Smitty, live ain't gonna be no great game either. I'm telling y'all that now before you play it. I played it. Smitty and I played it almost a year ago.
Yeah.
And at EA Play. No, it's not going to be a great game. I'm sorry to bust your bubble. It ain't going to kill 2K. No, none of that. They're not going to be as deep as 2K this year. We haven't even seen what franchise has to offer. And I can already tell you right now, it ain't going to be as deep as 2K. If it is, then we got some questions for Madden, because y'all know what Rex said about them intertwining. Yeah. So let's keep that in mind. If Live's franchise comes out here and blows our head off, we're going to have some conversations with the Madden folk. Not just the devs, but I mean, when I go down there, let me see who's ever upstairs. We need to talk. Y'all let Live do that? But that's just speculation. But what I'm saying, man, is just like Smitty said, we'll end the segment there unless Smitty has something else to say. Listen, I am in complete love with what is in that blog. That's why I made the video today. Love you can even hear Smitty's excitement in terms of what's there. But we are gameplay guys to the heart. Gameplay and modes should be like this, hand in hand. That's why it always pissed me off. And this was a couple years ago, not the last few years, but before that, when we used to hear, well, we got to focus on this. No, man, bump all that. They should. How can you focus on that and not fix the game? You understand what I'm saying? Because Madden did that. Let's be real, Smitty. They did that.
Mm-hmm.
Added all this stuff, and I'm like, that don't even matter in the game. So why it's cute because you add it as a feature, but that don't. Come on, regression and all that. Do y'all really feel the hit? Let's be honest. We putting it out here. Do you really feel the hit when you play Madden when your guys regressed a couple points? No, I don't. Martavis Bryant can still beat people deep, even when he have a bad game. And he's regressed a few points. He still is unstoppable because the way the press and stuff works now in Madden 17, it's either heads or tails. Whichever one if you call tails, you called it right, he's gonna be open.
Yep.
So that's all we're saying, man. We got to bring it back to gameplay. Hats off to them in advance if the gameplay matches up to everything on that blog. Hallelujah. We've been waiting for that. And you know what? I think where a lot of you guys might get it misconstrued, I'm talking about those who oppose what we say. We are so hard on 2K because they right there. They are looking at victory. They just like this. They can see it. All they got to do is go get it. Fix a couple of those fix those major legacy issues, which is really only a handful of them. I mean, if you really think about it, man, you might can count 10 off. I'm talking about the core stuff. You're done. And here's the funny part, Smitty, which people will see for themselves. NBA Live is attempting to do the one thing that we've been asking from 2K, freeing up those animations.
Yep.
Independent control, user control. I'm like, 2K, come on, man. If you know how, Jesus Christ, man.
But no, see, this is the thing. Live already has had the animation system like that. They've already had that, and the thing is, they just worked on it in terms of progressively getting it better and better. Even though, yeah, it looked rough and stuff, you look kind of crazy too when you implement the physics in there at times. But as we've seen through some of those offensive highlights, look at how the physics look now when you go up for dunks and stuff like that from some of those highlight clips of Live 18. You're seeing some guys getting to some nasty posters and things like that. And you see some real nice blocks happen as well. Mm-hmm. So, now we have the whole force field thing where, you got the force field, dude jumps and he's clearly in a position and they make a force field and he just shifts. Now they got to fix that. But, considering that was an earlier build of the game, still, they got to fix that. But from what NBA Live has, and this is the problem this is the issue with 2K, is that unless 2K has two-man animation sequences play out, it relies so heavy on those two-man sequences that it can't function separate. Right. Think about when you play in the post and you have your guy and you say, all right, I'm about to engage in the post. You got Joel Embiid. I'm turning my back and I'm starting to back down. You see how the defender, all of a sudden, he will act as if he has no idea what to do. And he won't defend you properly unless there's a two-man animation that clicks up and they just meet together. And now it looks like it makes sense. See, that's the problem with 2K. Live can have the independence and it'll work. It doesn't work perfectly, but it works with a lot more consistency. That's the whole point. That's what I'm looking to happen with 2K. It's like 2K has flashes of it where it's like, look how beautiful this play is. Ball physics were there. The spacing was done right. Dude was out of position. Got him. You know what I mean? Big man, I did the shoulder shimmy to the left, went to the right. He committed the opposite direction. I got him, pulled off this move. And it's beautiful stuff. But the problem is it doesn't work with the consistency. And that's the big time issue. You know what I'm saying? That's a big time problem with it, man. Not consistent enough. So until they get that, like I said, until they get that consistency right, man, you can forget about it. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. That's why I look forward to people playing Madden, and really filling out that simulation mode and everything and seeing what goes on with that. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be real interesting. It's going to be real interesting, and it's going to be very telling, just like it's been these past few years, but it's really going to be telling now because now we have the game segmented according to the play styles that it needed to be done.
Sure.
So
we will get into that.
Yeah, that's to say we're going to dive into it, but
oh boy,
that's we needed that segmentation to happen. So I wish that 2K would go back to it. And this is the other thing too, and then we can go forward. When it comes to 2K, see, I I don't catch it necessarily because I don't pay attention to every single nook and cranny of the game like that. But 2K secretly pulls things out. They did it this year from talking to Shake and other guys. They took animations out the game. You know what I mean? You're pulling animations out of the game. You're pulling facets out of the game that are needed. And it's like you keep doing these, you keep, you know, snatching the rug, snatching the tablecloth from the dishes, just keep snatching. You keep doing that. And it's like you gotta stop. There has to be some consistency with your method of building and development, man. It needs to just keep on progressively building up and up. Y'all do it with the franchise modes. That's the crazy thing. Y'all do it with the franchise modes, man. Like with MyLeague and all that. Outstanding work. That's a beautiful blog. But you ain't in no position to take no shots at anything at the end of the day. Real talk. Get your gameplay fixed. Actually, like, I don't care about the blogs, ain't gonna mean jack to me until I see a lot of people play. And I hear this overwhelming response across the board from the community that, like, yo, the gameplay is truly legit, and I gotta see it. You know what I'm saying? I gotta definitely see it. So until I see that happen, man, I can't get with it. So
this is funny, man, because I was actually about to type back to V50 or V Soul, I guess it is. That's the point that we're making. This whole thing, the point is everything that Smitty and I are saying. I want y'all to remember this one point. Treat every game the same when you're critiquing it. Don't give Madden a pass for something that you wouldn't give 2K a pass for. Don't give 2K a pass for something that you wouldn't give MLB a pass for. Don't give MLB a pass for something you wouldn't give FIFA a pass for. This is why we have these conversations. Because every time there's something about 2K, here comes the Madden hate. Then when there's something about Madden, then here's people saying, oh, well, 2K sucks too. Why are we even like that in this community? We should be looking at every single game. I mean, listen, I hate talking about myself, but this is what I do, people. Y'all notice that? I talk about every one of these sports games. And I have done that from day one. And myself and Smitty and there's others like DJ81 and Wakia. I know I'm not naming everybody, but y'all know who y'all are. So a lot of us that have consistently rated every game. And what we do is we look for the good in each game and say, oh, man, they doing that. You know what? Y'all need to do this. It's why I don't understand the 2K and NBA Live beef, Smitty. I don't understand it from this community. I don't get it. Why are we trying to dead one game? I mean, because you got these people out here, man. 2K is dead. Live gonna kill. What? Why?
Yeah. What's the point?
Are you crazy? First of all, that ain't gonna happen. But why? No. Why do we want that? Because the Madden crowd would say we need competition, and them same people, trust me, Sim sees everything. I hate talking about myself in third person, but Sim sees everything. I see some of you same people complaining about Madden, lack of competition, trying to kill Live or trying to kill 2K. And I'm like, look at you. I wish I could just hold a big mirror up and to let you see yourself. Why do we do that, folks? Why do we do that? We should, the sim gaming community. I'm going to go ahead and, since you guys, have elected us as some of the main voices, for the one moment, I'm going to sit up here and act like a leader and say this. I need all of us in this sim community to try to get every sports title that we play to be great. That is the goal. I don't want to hear the whole, oh, they should give it up. Oh, kill them. Listen, don't come at me with that. Have that conversation with somebody else. I ain't on that wave. I am ecstatic about Live coming back. You know why? Because it caused 2K to shoot a shot today.
Yep.
That's what you want. And we about to get into that. That's a good segue there. I didn't even mean to do that. This is what we want. 2K, what they say, Smitty? They said, yeah, they basically say, yo, we care about our fan base and we ain't gonna give you no lackluster franchise. My man said my goal was to make sure that ain't happening in the NBA. Who are they talking about? Madden.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about. And also, Smitty, this is the reason why I'll continue to say, listen, we don't need no other football game, Jack. Competition is out there. 2K is your competition for both live and Madden, because now it's about franchise. Who has the deeper immersion? Because the analytics, as much as, you know, listen, we love Rex and the guys. And again, it's not on them like that. So they're kind of excluded from these conversations when we say these things. We're talking to the soups, them dudes who cut that check. Here's the thing. They said, oh, CFM usage is up. Okay, I like to see the usage for my league and my team and my GM. Let me see them numbers. I bet you they trump Maddens for one reason only. 7 million people bought that game. Oh, no, it was more than that. How much 2K sold that year? Was it year before? Like 10, 12 million, something stupid.
Yeah, like between 8 and 10.
And
like
I guarantee you, a huge crowd was in my GM, my league, or guess what else? My career.
Mm-hmm.
So if I am the head, if I'm one of the guys at the table that can make a decision, I'm looking around like, yo, we need to do whatever they doing. Look at the usage. Because don't tell me it ain't information that they can't get. And of course they can. So, guys, listen. That's the mission. Get all these games great. If y'all coming at us with the 2K should do this, Madden sucks, they should give it up, I ain't listening to that. Madden is probably the only football game we're gonna have. Or y'all can go listen. This ain't no knock, but y'all know I'm as real as it comes. Y'all go ahead and play Canadian football 2017. Go ahead. Go play that then. If you think there's a better option than Madden. I'm just saying, no knock on them, because I salute that guy, David, I think his name is. Applause. Because he got up off of his butt. He said, you know what, I'm gonna make another game. That's phenomenal. Same way I salute Deuce Douglas for not just talking. He put together this crazy man. That man if that was his presentation, imagine if he's applying for EA and he bring that in there, they probably give him the top spot. That man's blog, I have never seen nothing like that from just a quote unquote community figure. Beautiful. In the same way I feel about the guy with Canuck, you know, the Canuck game. Listen, man, it's an effort. So y'all don't hear me trashing. Y'all haven't heard me trashing, and I'm not going to. But it's not a replacement. People have told me that, Smitty. I'm gonna pass on Madden and rock with that. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
That's just stupid. But yeah, man. But yeah, you wanted to say something. Actually,
I was gonna say. I just want to say this real quick that the community, that's the whole thing. A lot of these dudes that are bringing these ideas to the forefront are community guys. 2K hired a bunch of community guys. They got a community guy that's rating their game right now, like that give the ratings for their players. That's a community guy that a lot of these dudes are from OS and was the website NLSC. They came from that, like I said, Leptos, MyLeague was his idea. You know what I'm saying? Like that was his, and he brought that in. So, and that's a community guy. So that's why we said the other week or a few weeks ago, Deuce Douglas, easily bring that brother in. You know what I'm saying? And show what's going on. You know what I mean? With the game and all that good stuff. Like Czar, OG, those are all community guys that are responsible for some legitimate aspects of the game. So it's like, it's not a knock when we say, yo, this community guy, hey, he's got some insight. Like, no, it happened with other games, so why not do it for Madden? You know what I'm saying? Like, we all say we want this game to be on that level. Well, that's what it's going to take to get there. So that's what has to be done. You know, but no, go ahead, Sim.
Yeah, man, I see my man Coach said Czar was a community guy. He sure was. And so was OG. And the funny thing is, I knew them before they went to EA. I mean, before OG went to EA and before Czar went to 2K. Some of y'all don't even remember that OG was at Live. Y'all remember that? And I'm not going to tell y'all his business, but there's a whole lot to that. Good brother. Good dude. Same with Czar. But that's what we're saying, man. It's like, The community is powerful, man. If we just focus on the prize, stop trying to kill games off, stop beefing over what games people like. Just play your game and have fun. I don't care about anybody that has feelings about me playing live, Madden, 2K, MLB, because I'm telling you, when I stream MLB, there is people who tell me that game is flawed. I don't know why you keep playing it. Listen, I don't care. I'm having a good time. And I'm give them their feedback just the same, even though I don't know as much about baseball. But that's all we saying, guys. And the last thing I would say, Smitty, and then I'm gonna ask you about the shot that they took at EA. I'll give y'all another comparison. This time we'll use the female comparison. 2K to me is like 2K is that bad chick, right? I mean, you see her face-wise. I mean, this shorty is a dime piece. I mean, just think about the baddest chick that you like. I don't know if some of you guys are into hair, but she got the prettiest hair, beautiful eyes. I mean, everything. I mean, she just, when you look at her eyes, they just sparkle. Just dime piece, right? Start looking further down, and I know this is going to be a little funny. Some of y'all are going to laugh in the comments. Some of you guys are, let's keep it clean. Some of you guys are breast men, right? So let's say now she only has like a B cup. So it ain't bad, but you kind of like, okay, right? Everything else is pretty decent. The midsection is flawless. Because again, they get you with that. That's flawless. Midsection area. But then when you get down to her knees and her feet, I mean, her feet, for you guys who remember Boomerang the movie years ago, she got hammer time in her shoes. I mean, they jacked up. And she got some funny looking kneecaps. But on the surface, what you gonna say? Shorty bad though. You know, she got some, you know, her knees is kind of funny looking. Maybe I'm gonna have to keep her in capris. But, you know, we just won't wear sandals as often. But she bad. That's 2K. That is NBA 2K, because my man Leon said it in here. People be gassed on how good the game looks. You be gassed on it. And listen, trust me, when that Momentous trailer came out for 2K14, we all was gassed. Like, yeah. Oh my Lord.
Yep.
It's beautiful. Who wouldn't want this beauty on their arm? Well, she got some underneath things. He kind of like, you know, everything ain't perfect. That's 2K. And what kills me is people don't want to admit that for whatever reasons. Like, they think Madden got cult following and fanboys. Oh my goodness. 2K got plenty of them. I had a guy literally tell me the other day that 2K can't do no wrong in his eyes. He literally said that. I was like, wow, okay.
At least he was honest.
He was honest.
And I'm like, yeah.
And that's what we saying, dog. We listen. I think this is the reason why y'all watch us, because y'all know we gonna shoot it straight for everybody. When Madden come out and when we get a chance to play it like the real thing, and that thing ain't doing what that blog said, oh, we gonna rip it. Because listen, I can speak for all of y'all right here. I'm pissed about CFM. I sat in EA's offices, not gonna say his name because he's usually not, he's out there, but I don't know if, you know, he wants his name out there. But I spoke to an executive. He asked me straight up, what you think, Sim? And I told him, I don't like it, bro. I don't like long shot happening when it's happening. I get what y'all are trying to do, and I'm not going to spoil the story or anything for you guys because I want everybody to go through it. Great story. But I told him I don't like this move right now because I feel like there's not a mode for me. And when I said me, I said what I'm referring to, because there was some other CFM guys there. Shout outs to Ronnie, my boy Ronnie, Sean Mason. They know who they are. And Sean Mason was very adamant about this. He was like, there's nothing there for me. We are CFM guys. We gameplay first, but y'all know what I always say, CFM and gameplay like this. I was like, I don't feel like we're not getting really anything. Where's that core franchise, right? And then even though I understand the decisions and all that, Smitty, then I look online today and I see this gigantic blog from 2K. And I'm like, see, this is what I'm saying, man. When we go get that? You know, y'all understand what me and Smitty go through? We know because we behind the curtain, but it's still like, but when are we going to get that? Told him just like that. I said, bro, at EA Play, Smitty remembers, same guy. I said, man, I don't know what the plan is. I kind of do, but I don't in terms of franchise. I said, y'all got it. 19 got to be something. It's got to be something. Because, listen, we can't have this, man. I don't know what y'all got to do, because I know he's one of the guys who kind of sits at the table. I'm like, listen, it's a community out here that y'all are not treating. And I told him straight up, I said, those numbers are skewed. You know, you're looking at just usage, but that ain't Sim, and that ain't Smitty, and that ain't all you guys. Coach Smith 1993, DJ 81, Nef1, NY Dez. All it ain't y'all. You know, they not seeing how much that we fed up with it. They're just seeing those new people that's now a little interested. That spikes your numbers. Like we are the core, the Deuce Douglases of the world. That's the guy that feels neglected. I say y'all have to give us something. We need that. And I'll even say this real quick, Smitty. John White is like one of the head guys in CFM. Mm-hmm. Y'all ain't letting that man do his thing. You know, this dude is a hardcore CFM head. Josh Lumen. Yeah, y'all ain't letting these dudes do their thing, man. And it's like, I gotta stop. And it has to stop right now. So in production for Madden 19, we got to make that happen. All right, we spent a little too much time right there getting that vent on, but Smitty, what you think about that shot, man, that 2K took at EA real quick? Yeah, it really wasn't that subliminal to me if you really look at it.
No, it was blatant. I mean, let me see what, just looking at it,
I say, woo,
verbatim. It was like,
I love it.
He was like, you know, it's he said, I shouldn't be at this point, but I'm continually surprised at how little support other sports games give to their franchise modes. I vowed a long time ago never to let the NBA 2K franchise regress to that mean. See, now that's, you know, and I mean, he goes on basically giving the premise behind, you know, what their goals are and what their goal is yearly to do throughout their visual concepts. But let me see, hold on. Yeah, see, and this, I'll say the closing part here. He said basically, as I said in this space last year, it's important to me that you feel we respect your purchase of our product. Your passion and enthusiasm is what drives us. Don't ever stop giving us ideas or telling us what you want to see added to the game. See, I get the shot and I get this statement here, but this only counts for his part of the game, because he said it's important. This is the thing that sticks out to me right here. It's important to me that you feel we respect your purchase of our product. All those core gameplay problems that have been there for about a decade. How am I getting the respect? Now, if this was a gameplay guy making this statement, no, there's no way in the world. You're lying blatantly. And until, like, franchise, yeah, you're laying the smack down pretty much. I mean, I like you said too, I'm in the same boat with the baseball game too. I don't know MLB The Show to really be like, hey, it's the #1 franchise. They got it. It's locked down. Boom, over. That I can't say. But I can't get down with what's going on here with 2K's gameplay and then say I'm getting that full package, because you're not. You're getting a full sandbox, but you're not getting, but it's not put together. It's not put together well, especially when you had 12 updates. I mean, 12 updates and then all kinds of other tunings they did. You can't have all that go on and then be like, yeah, we knocked it off the park, you guys. Great job. Like, no, MyLeague was fine. the immersion and all that stuff was there. And they had their little tunings and tweaks they did on that mode as well. But still, it wasn't a big problem. It wasn't like this big time issue. Gameplay is what's going to matter more than anything, because that's what keeps people, that's what keeps us playing year in and year out, game after game. Now, people play Pro-Am and they play the park and all that stuff endlessly. NBA 2K16, the big investment they made was on my career. You know what I'm saying? You know why? Because of the big surge, the big surge of people playing in the park that they saw progressively grow from 14 to 15, and they're like, hey, 16, okay, we see how this game is trending. We got to press in that direction now. People doing pack openings and stuff, so my team got the love and all that. So it's like those modes got all the love. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, they show love to MyLeague as well. But the problem is the gameplay, while it does get love, it gets animations and all that, and that's great. But the gameplay is not where it needs to be at. That's the problem, that's the issue that we all have. Well, not all of us, excuse me. Some people are fine with it. But for those of us that are not okay with it, that showcase the videos, that's the problem we have with it. And see, the thing is, we're showing you guys visually. Like, we visually put it out there and say, this is the problem, and we're showing it to you. We're not just talking and just saying, oh, the game just doesn't get it. Like, no. We're showing these points because we want it to be better, and it happens so much that it's like, I look at this blog, and I'm like, man, I would want to play this game. Man, I can't wait to get into this mode. But I'm like, but how's the gameplay going to be after the first 5 minutes? First 5-10 minutes, am I going to experience the exact same thing that I've been experiencing for nearly a decade, or is it actually going to be better? Is it really going to be better? And then on top of that, unless they do what Madden is doing this year, which we're going to talk about soon, if they don't segment this game, and I mean truly segment it, we know back then they had simulation, arcade, default, and all that in there. But what I'm saying is segmented to the point where you're tuning the play style separately, and that's it. Not we're just going to tune the whole game, and then everybody's got to deal with the same thing. That's been one of the biggest problems with Madden. That's why I'm glad they segmented the styles. But we need to see that in 2K, because if you got OG talk the way he talk, and Mike Wang and Czar, all these videos and presentations, this is how you play defense, and this is how you're supposed to do this, and this is how you should run that, only to when the game comes out, all those things end up going by the wayside after, what, a few weeks? Can't have that. We can't honestly have that and then expect to really appreciate, because it's hard to appreciate all this immersion that you talk about in these MyLeague, MyGM details when the gameplay is getting cut, it's getting screwed and chopped. You can't have all that going on and then expect the gameplay. Some people will be okay with it and just accept. Me, I'm not one of those people. So it has to be a good representation of basketball, clean, respectively. Otherwise, what's the point? That's it. You know what I mean? I'll be playing live. You know, and that's why I'm saying, that's why I'm waiting on 2K, because I'm like, all these years, 2K, I gave them the chances. I don't know how many chances they should get, but they sit on their hands. They move too slow. They move too slow. And I mean, they were the only title and they were predominant with it. So it's like, yeah, they honestly did not have to rush. They really didn't have to. So we'll see how things unfold, you know, going forward. But we'll hope and see for the best. Because understand this. If you honestly think NBA Live is not going to get into the esports space at some point, oh, they are. They got to build their game up, but they are. So wave, man. Yeah. So if your game does not step up, guess what's going to happen? They're going to step up. They're going to get their game better. And when they get their game better, then now, oh man, now we really got to do X, Y, Z. Well, yeah, because look, Live got their stuff straight. Everybody laughed at them when it wasn't there, but then when you see, oh dang, they got this. Oh wow, they got that. Oh, they doing that now? Okay, all right. They're gonna make you respect it. And then the numbers, then you're gonna start seeing them sales go up. When them numbers and stuff happen, guess what? You're gonna have 2 games blowing up like that, side by side, neck and neck. And that's just reality, man. Flat out.
And Smitty summed it up as far as the shot. You know, I'll be very brief with it because I want to chime in quickly on something one of the guys here mentioned in chat, which is very relevant, because I told him that you said this very thing that he mentioned 2 years ago. But I love the shot for one reason only. That's competition.
Yep.
And I wrote immediately. I tweeted, I said, hey, corporate, and I tagged EA Sports, not EA Sports, man, EA Sports. I said, hey, corporate suits at EA Sports, yeah, that was a shot. Take notes. That's what you want. You would hope, now who knows if it happens, but you would hope that somebody get in their feelings about that and like, okay, well, we're going to improve our franchise. Come next year. That's what you want. This is why you want competition, just like DJ said earlier. All of these games are in competition with themselves. Every last one of them. And that's what we want. Outstanding. That's great. But the thing that I wanted to speak on real quick, Smitty, and I want to get his name right because I like to give you guys credit, H2O_704. He says, verbatim, let me find his comment. All of the MyGM stuff is real cute for offline players, but online leagues on 2K has no depth. Now, I'm going to add to his statement. I've been told the servers are trash. I have never played online in a league. I attempted to play online a few times in the past, just head-to-head, had some trouble. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But you know why I want to point that comment out? I remember Smitty saying, it might have even been when we were on Blog Talk Radio. I remember specifically Smitty saying, I wouldn't be surprised if this MyLeague stuff is so robust because they know that the servers aren't that good. They're offline. It's like a distraction. That's what Smitty said 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He said, you know what? They're probably building this up because they know they can't get online right. 2 years later, here we are. People still complaining about the online. And I would have to say, Smitty might be right. I don't know if that was the motivation behind it, but even if it wasn't, you having a great experience offline. Wonderful. But, and I don't know this to be true, I take H2O's word for it. If they don't have this kind of depth online, wow. Like if you don't have the same depth online with the CFM, then whoa. And you know what? That might be true. Again, like I said, I've never tried to play online in a CFM, in a MyLeague or MyGM or what have you, so I don't know. But there was another comment to me today on Twitter, Smitty, where a guy said, it was PX1. PX1 said, yeah, but in order for Madden to support all of those in-depth features that we want, like from Deuce Douglas list, offline and online, how much time would that take? And at the time, I said, yeah, I feel you. But now it has a deeper meaning. Because basically, that leads me to believe that maybe, like my man said here, 2K doesn't do the same thing online. And it's kind of like, well, you're getting cheated. If I'm playing franchise online and I can't enjoy the same thing,
right? Yeah.
Then I'm not getting the full experience. So I gotta tip my hat to H2O. Yeah, that really sucks. If you don't have the same benefits online, that really sucks. Because let's face it, this is an online world. Yeah. The same reason why you got people that have argued what setting that Madden should be on when you play head-to-head, not CFM. They just talking about regular head-to-head. It's the same thing because people want to play online. Now, I don't really mind because I usually just play in my online CFM. I might jump in a rank I might jump in a party every now and then, like a lobby, just to see what's going on out there. Sometimes I play MUT. So it's not a big deal to me what setting is on because I don't spend the majority of my time out there. I play online CFM, which obviously will be on simulation. But I get those people who want the same experience every time they jump on. And there it is right there, man. It's give and take, apparently, with 2K's MyGM. Now, moving on to the next thing, man, kind of shifting gears a little bit. We'll come back to the ratings and we'll come back to the game style, but I wanted to go to the legacy gameplay fixes, Smitty, because I did see V Soul. He said, was this guy this negative? He's referring to you when you were speaking when Madden blogs dropped. And again, I got to say this, and I'm going to say this one time only. If anybody questions anybody here at the Sim Standard and fairness or unbiasedness, we have nothing to respond to you. Because obviously you haven't been listening to us for the several years, or if not, the last couple weeks. We get at Madden all the time. Matter of fact, we have gotten at Madden tonight. So that kind of comment, I don't get it.
Okay, I see it. Oh, okay.
I don't get it.
I mean, but this may be new for him. He may not have ever came through before.
It may be. You know? But I know just tonight, we ain't even dived into Madden, and we've already given Madden flack in this call tonight. So I don't care if this is your first time. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
I'm sorry. And this is who I am. I'm sorry. I mean, if you take it the wrong way, it is what it is. This is how I speak. What are you talking about? But for future reference, anybody that feels like that we have an allegiance with any company just because, you know, I drink out of my favorite coffee cup here, an EA cup, and I'm an EA Sports game changer. Most of y'all know I give EA the business quite often, and we're going to give it to them tonight. But whatever, man. Let's go into the legacy fixes. Now, this is an interesting one, Smitty, because you know, I'm not going to go through them all, but I want to hear your take because, you know, obviously I did a video on it, so most of you guys would know, you know, a lot of my thoughts on it. But what I wanted to point out was the fact that I was just telling you this on the phone. It was just a couple days ago. I was like, man, they need to put out a list of all of these legacy issues. Because Rex said, and I don't know if the number is accurate, but he said we fixed about 40 of the main legacy issues. Now, if you look at the blog, and if you guys haven't seen it, give me a second. I'll post the link. It's not 40 things, but there's some good things. So I'm going to throw it to you first, Smitty. I want to hear your thoughts in general. Two things on them putting this out, but then also which one of these things, or maybe all of them, really caught your eye. Because just to set up the conversation, looking at this stuff, if these things are truly fixed and functional, we got a different game on our hands. We got a different game. And one thing I did want to point out real quick, Smitty, because I know 757 said he was going to try to listen tonight. And I hit him up and I texted him. I said, man, have you not been talking about this for 2 years? Y'all have always heard him say when he used to come on, man, I don't understand why these little DBs is tackling big boys like Le'Veon Bell and, you know, DeMarco Murray in open field. Now, according to the size and weight factor, it says the formula used to determine the outcomes of hit sticks and impact blocks will now use weight and momentum of players involved in interaction. You will see far less instances of smaller players successfully landing a hit stick on bigger ball carriers. And also, I'll elaborate on that a little bit. It will be the same for just tackling in general. So if they don't have the proper momentum and things of that nature, and they are smaller, they're not going to be able to take down bigger guys. That's football. So that alone right there, to me, changes the game a little bit as far as open field. If you don't get, and you know, it's the reason, Smitty, in real football, why you want to get your back to the second level. Because he can get out there and it's just him in a corner. Yeah, good luck. There's a few guys who are going to make the tackle, but not everybody. And it's a chess match now with you got to decide how to tackle. Because I don't know if people know this, Smitty. The hit stick is no longer on X or square. Now, the X or square, depending on your console, is a dive tackle. A or X for PlayStation is conservative tackle, and then hit stick is back on the stick. So now it's a chess match now, because now you got to say, okay, who's this guy? Should I try to take his legs out, or should I just do a conservative tackle, or go for the big hit stick and get trucked? That's interesting. But what's your thoughts in general, Smitty, man, as far as displaying some of this information? I still want the full list. But then also, what were some of the fixes that caught your eye?
The main things that really stuck out to me, let me see here, was let me go through it here real quick. Well, the weight, excuse me, the size and weight factor. Now, okay, so I'm just thinking about it here. This is something that will be very relative for people to think about, comparable wise. Remember the Madden 25 next gen trailer, the first one, where
hold on real quick. I gotta interrupt you because I want you to comment on this, because you just said Madden 25. I want you to finish your point, but maybe if you want to address this first.
All right.
A guy here in the comment says, I'm that dude just blazed 850. He says Madden 25 had the best gameplay this console generation. What are your thoughts on that real quick?
Well, I mean, okay. It had some good stuff, arguably. I wouldn't say it's the best though, but no, I can't do that.
I can't say that either.
Pass control, terrible in comparison to what's out now. Pass control's bad. Wideout, DB interactions. I mean, I don't like the two-man sequential stuff, but it's
synchronized animations either.
Yeah, that's true too. The synchronized animations are crazy. Player movement though was second to none. Ridiculously nice. The contextual animations, extremely nice. Which you guys, so they ain't put that on the blog and everything.
Oh yeah,
but when y'all see that, yeah, that's
they are back.
Yeah, it's much better, much better now. Force impact. The force impact.
They was on to something, right?
That was huge. You're gonna see some force impact in this here, but yeah. Outside of that, the player movement, force impact. That's really it. Like those main things. The true step, the original initial true step. I love that the best. That was the best to me. So those things I loved about Madden 25, and yeah, that's true, Drizzy. I did a video on that like a few months ago where I showed Madden 25 and shown some things and was like, yo, this is where it needs to be back at. And but what I'll say though, getting back to the point though that I was making was that remember Madden 25 and that trailer they shown that had Adrian Peterson and all that, you know, Robert Griffin and everything in there. Beast mode, pushing off the blocker and all that. And we was like, oh, snap, that's how it's going to look. You know, all that stuff, right? Well, you know, we came to our realizations and all that and said, you know, that was engine, that was potential. That was potential that it could be that. And the thing is, it's like they realized the potential because I've seen plays when I was playing where you had it like Adrian Peterson kind of moments. You got 2-3 defenders latched onto you, and you still moving and trucking. So just think if you know, with the physics playing a role in there, if you kind of get the right, you know, if you kind of get the right animations and stuff, right? Not animations, excuse me. If the situation fits properly, you may have instances where you got 2 or 3 defenders on you and they could possibly shut off. That's very possible. See what I'm saying? So it's like those kind of instances happen now. The tackling and the player, it feels a lot more weighted now. And that's the main thing that I was saying back at EA Play. I need to expand my horizons, no doubt. But when it came to playing the secondary, the thing that I love that helps me play a lot more comfortable is having that mapping out there. So if I'm playing a corner, safety, whatever, it lets me know what part of the field I should try to cover, as well as who's my responsibility at that point in time. Whether you corner, linebacker, whatever formation it is. So I like that. But the size
matters.
The size thing is the biggest thing. Yeah.
That's a little joke, yo. Size matters.
Yeah. No, it definitely does. So like that size and weight factor, it definitely is gonna matter. So
some people gonna catch that one because I think we got some females listening. They gonna catch that joke.
Oh, yeah, but that's the biggest part about it. So like that was my biggest thing that I felt the most, that in the zone play. So, and it doesn't go all into it here, but like NY Kia had just said in the section, you want to see guys drop back and he's saying that. Oh, he's talking about from my shirt or whatever. But no, what I'm saying is that what was the point I was just thinking of? Oh, what NY Kia said about the zone play. The zones and how they respond to it is that yes, they will drop back, but this is how I was throwing picks. This is how I seen Sim pick off passes and running in for 6. I was doing it too. Heck, we was doing it when we was playing the MUT squads. Like, guys will fall back into coverage. They'll drop back and everything. But at the same time, they don't just fall back blindly and then just stay all the way back and stand there like how we've been seeing over the years. They drop back, they're looking and they're watching that quarterback. As soon as they throw that thing, boom, they own it. Especially if they can pick it up, bam, they getting it. Unless they're gonna drop it, but they're gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? Especially, playing man defense, they're on it. Zone defense, they're definitely on it. The safety play, they're on it. So it's going to be real interesting, especially when it comes to the audibles for the thirds. Like, I like how they have it broke down amongst the thirds.
Beautiful.
So
I was actually there, guys, for that discussion, just to give y'all a nugget. Yeah.
See?
And let me tell y'all this. Y'all would be shocked to know. Like I said, I don't want to say their names because I don't know if they like to take the credit. But it's a couple guys on the big stage that help implement that. So as much as we think that is just the sim heads, listen to what I'm telling you. Some of the competitive guys on some of the bigger names that you see, they have a lot of sim aspects in their DNA. That's all I'm saying.
Is a man, yeah. Competitive guys give a lot of feedback, a lot of real good feedback too. And is the man fixed? From what we played, man was playing very legit.
What's fixed though? I need you to define that for us because y'all know how me and Smitty are. We need you to tell us exactly what you're asking because not just saying you, but this is what usually happens in these discussions. And when people play games, when something doesn't work, they say it's broken. But is it not working because of that guy or his rating or what have you? What we can tell you, and I didn't want to interrupt Smitty, but what we can tell you, man coverage was working, Jack. Yeah. Can you still get beat? Yeah. So the rating should be coming into play, but you can clearly see that they was playing man coverage. And there were times where you couldn't get the ball in there.
Yeah. They take pursuit. It's like they will adjust their pursuit angle while they're covering you in man coverage, while they're en route to knock the ball away. At times, it looks like they'll knock it into a favorable position where they could possibly pick it off. So you won't see, well, at least from what we played. I can't say what you won't see. From what we played, you can knock the ball. You can. Oh, does man shading work? Yes. Yes,
Yes.
it definitely works, Kia.
Yes,
so,
like Craig said on Friday. Yes.
It definitely works. Let me see. But no, when you're playing routes and gnarled or whatever, it doesn't matter. Corner routes, streaks, slants, drags, all those routes, in out routes, it all happens. You know what I'm saying? They happen on all those routes. It just matters upon, of course, skill rating, your positioning, all that stuff. It all happens, but it's just across the board. It was really good. You know, like from what we got to play at that point, it was pretty good. So it's definitely it's going to be a drastic difference between that and 17 or any I would say from any of these other versions that I played. You know, like over the years, like it's really tight. It is much better, much better. And this is on simulation. This is on simulation setting. So
yeah, man, it's a lot of stuff here. Again, just so y'all know, we still got to see it. Now, we could speak a little more openly about this stuff in the blog because we've played the game. But again, there's a lot of stuff that we can't confirm because we didn't try that. Like I said here in the chat, and I'm going to say it aloud so y'all will remember. Guys like NY Kia, make sure you follow his channel. When Madden comes out, he's going to be a guy who's labbing extensively. NY Kia is beyond knowledgeable about football. I believe he coached at some point, if I'm not mistaken. He knows his football. He knows his coverages. He knows his terminology. He is the guy who has been breaking Madden down to that degree for years. So trust me, some of these questions you have in regards to coverage, shading, blah, 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 leverage and all that, that's going to be his primary focus. And he'll probably be doing that by formation. That's how he does. Relly, a.k.a. Madden Universe. He's going to be another guy that does extensive labbing and was doing it at EA Play. So when there are things that me and Smitty can't answer, because I told y'all know my process. When y'all watch my stream, I play the game, and when I see stuff, oh, let me look at that. I don't lab. I'll be the first one to tell you that. I don't lab. I don't test. I mean, some stuff, you know, Smitty and I both have tested coverage, stuff like that. But I'm talking about all of these different formations and sending motion, and I don't do that. That's not my forte. I just look at what happened on the play. I built my channel on looking at replays. Ooh, what happened here? Let's dissect it on the fly. So I'm not going to be the guy that can answer a lot of the questions that some of you guys have in the chat. Relly actually did that for 2 days straight. He didn't come out of that booth, and he was laughing. Hit my man up on Twitter at Madden Universe. Ask your questions, but he's going to be another guy you want to follow when the game drops or when EA Access is out. He'll probably be a type of guy that would end up getting an early copy. Just saying. But yeah, Smitty, man, it's a lot of the stuff that looks good, but we got to give it the same treatment we gave 2K. I need to see it. It's got to play out. As long as this stuff plays out, I mean, the question I had in my video with the AI defenders, SWAT versus interception. One thing I'm going to say here, man, and then we'll segue into the next topic. With all of this competitive and sim and arcade, forget arcade, ain't about playing arcade. But with all of this competitive and sim, I'm getting a little worried as far as how different they will be. Let me explain what I'm saying. I don't like when I read in blogs when it highlights on competitive or on simulation. Because my question is, well, what's it going to do on the other setting? For example, AI defenders, the SWAT versus interception. It says another top competitive community request was to remove outcomes where defenders would SWAT down what would be an easy interception. On competitive only, again, on competitive only, defenders will now always go for the interception on an open read on the ball. My immediate question is, how is it tuned on simulation? Same exact problem that from Madden 17, where they get dumb sometimes and don't realize, oh, I should try to catch that instead of swatting it. We've all seen it. I'm talking about that one. I could give y'all an example that you've all had. Your middle linebacker has knocked down a slant, and he's the only one there. And he does that little animation when you like, just catch it. It's a pick.
Yep.
Now, some people would say, oh, well, maybe his ratings are good. I get it. Even if he don't have a good catch, I want AI to play the right situation. Let me at least think that the artificial intelligence is saying, whoa, I should try to catch that. He goes for it. He drops it. Yeah, he got brick hands. You know, not to pick on my man, but somebody like Cam Haywood, who's a bona fide DN, like you know, hold the point of attack type of DN. I don't expect that man to catch no balls, and even though he can, hey, I seen Brett Kiesel get an interception. For you guys that follow football or know the Steelers, but he ain't catching them all. So I'm cool if hits his hands and he drops it. But the AI disappointment for me is when it's a clear interception attempt. Get the ball back. Make me think that my defense is like, whoa, this is an opportunity for a turnover. Instead of doing that stupid, the same old one-hand swat. I'm like, come on now. That concerns me because it says competitive only. So all of these things remain to be seen. The user control linebackers, love that. Where it's going to be a tremendous reduction in them being able to play and take away all these different routes. We've all hated that. NY Kia made a video about that, how this middle linebacker, he showed, I can't remember the exact play, but he showed where the guy was able to take away like 3 routes. Come on, man. Can't nobody move that fast and turn that quick. So they've adjusted the way it says that, you know, their run curves and their turn rates and things like that to be more realistic. Guys with more elite skills have a better chance at it. Again, not trying to be a homer, but we all know Ryan Shazier is fast. The dude runs a 4.3 at linebacker. I'd rather see a guy like that have the possibility to do it versus another a random, I'm not going to say random, but a middle linebacker who's not known for speed. Hell, I even wouldn't mind somebody like Luke Kuechly, who might not be the super fast linebacker, but his mind is crazy. So Kuechly is the type of dude that can anticipate that third route and go after it before the quarterback. Cool with that. But everybody can't do that. So I love that they've changed that. Swerve catch, y'all already know how I feel about that. That's about it here. Relly says you can't do it. Great. So, you know, we're not going to go through all of these guys. The off-ball injury stuff, that's great. To my knowledge, I don't know if I'm giving anything away here, but to my knowledge, I think it affects linemen. I don't know if it applies to other positions. I know early on, because I know Clint has said some of this publicly, even the daggone vlog here, it says, you know, it mentions linemen. But I know early on, that was the talk. And maybe early stages of it, it was just, and I was like, it'd be cool if it could be more players. I mean, because, hey, a receiver might hurt himself blocking. I like to see that, but got to start somewhere. But I can't confirm that. I'm just saying, I think it's just linemen, but it's good to have that. So a lot of different things here, guys. Obviously, the defensive hot routes, you know, being position specific. Y'all know how myself and Smitty feel about that. I mean, hey, we've sat here a million times and said ratings should be based on position. You know, so y'all know we love that because now y'all know how Madden works. See, me and Smitty know this to be a fact. They start laying these little groundworks, then they start bubbling off of that. To me, my eyes light up because I'm like, so if you're doing position-specific hot routes, could we possibly start working in some position-specific traits or ratings? Or that's how I think. We'll see. But yeah, I'm not going to get into all of that, man. The whole thing, definitely read it for yourselves. I'm going to post a link here. And Smitty, we'll transition into the next topic, man. I'll go first. All of this chaos in the community right now with competitive versus sim and sim versus competitive. I'm going to take a different approach with it. I don't understand how Everyone is trying to get things changed before they even touch the game. Guys, we need to give feedback. We must give feedback. But let's pay attention to the things that Rex told us. First of all, by separating the two, right? Or the three, for those who should play on arcade, because some of you probably should. Not none of you guys here. I'm confident that the guys here are probably sim or competitive. You know, maybe a few youngins, you know, young kids that want to play. Why don't you try arcade first? But for the most part, we're either going to be sim or competitive. A lot of you guys here sim because obviously we represent the simulation and blah, blah, blah. Now, here's the thing. You have to pay attention to the fact that they can be tuned separately. Why do I say that? Because it's going to be up to you guys. All of us will determine how the simulation setting performs for the duration of the year. We all hated last year when the game came out. We all was like, yeah, 17 is pretty dope. 3 months later, got a little less dope. By like 6 months, we all sitting there sad as I don't know what. And then you got people, and most of us were trying to, we call it unplug Madden or whatever. We strip out all of the tuners and try to replay the game the way it was when it launched, but you couldn't do that online, right? So it's important that y'all settle down a little bit, because I talked to Rex offline and I'm like, man, I mean, at this point, y'all don't know what to listen to. I talked to him and Clint. I'm not going to share the conversations, but it's so much coming at them from the sim crowd, mind you. It's mostly the sim crowd. I'm going to call y'all out. It's mostly the sim crowd that's going bonkers before the game has even launched. Competitive dudes ain't really saying much. I'm trust me when I'm telling y'all this. I know this for fact. It's us screaming about what should be, what shouldn't be. And listen, in theory, I get it. When you read a blog, and this is why I already know Smitty's going to share this and what I'm saying. This is the reason why you need to do those playbooks like they once did back in the day. When they used to do those streams and explain how things work, or like how when I have the opportunity to interview the guys, you know, when we go out to E8 play, beautiful stuff. Because you can ask questions and get an explanation. But reading those blogs, I would have to say, some of that stuff is a little unsettling, because you're looking at it and you're like, well, wait a minute. So you're telling me that this thing is not going to be in this setting? So I can understand the concern. Now, I'm trying to find the gameplay blog here, guys. Bear with me for a moment as I'm looking down. I might be still talking, because there's a couple things in there, man, that I'm wondering how is it going to play out on simulation. Let me see if I can find it real quick, because I know one thing right off the top of the head, and I mentioned this in a video I did. The whole thing about the hit stick. I got some confirmation on that. I gotta be careful, because I don't know if I can share it, because it was an offline conversation I had with Clint. So I'm not going to go all the way into it, but basically, I'll share you my concern. My concern was, I said, wait a minute. Oh, here's the blog. I have it here. I said, wait. So in competitive, guys that don't have the big hitter trait can't pull off a hit stick. And I was like, that's phenomenal. But that's not in simulation. Now let me explain to y'all why I like that. And bear with me for a moment. I'm gonna take you back in history real quick. When Vic Lugo was still there, you know, still one of my favorite guys that was ever on the Madden team. Vic was truly one of the great dudes, along with others. But when Vic was introducing Madden 25 and Force Impact, that was his thing. Vic had the game set up. We played the game where certain people could not trigger a hit stick. Certain people couldn't do it. Kickers and things like, they just couldn't do it. They would never trigger that animation. I fought for that for so long, saying that's how it should be. In the real world, there are some players that will never attempt a hit stick or try to lower their shoulder on somebody, because they're not built like that. Number one, they're just not that type of player. Number two, Deion Sanders back in the day. You ever see him try to hit stick somebody? No. He goes for the legs. Or he was known for not tackling. That was in the game. It came out of the game, and I'll share some other information that I was able to hear offline. And this is games ago, so I don't think it matters now. The conversation amongst devs was like, do we want to take things away from just regular people that's not so hardcore like us? Like, they're not going to understand why they can't pull off a hit stick. And I was like, from a business standpoint, I get it. I get it. But you remember, I'm still thinking real football. So anyway, fast forward to now. Imagine my surprise when I read that. I'm like, yes, finally. But what does it say? That's under the competitive. Have a conversation with Clint. I can't tell y'all exactly what it was about because, again, I don't know if that's proprietary information at the moment. But basically, that is not the case in simulation. However, it's still going to matter. Certain people still won't be able to successfully pull off a hit stick. So there is some good news at the end of that tunnel, but I can't go all the way into it because I'm going to have to wait to get permission. If I am able to get permission, I will make a special video explaining that. But so even though the trait thing won't be as in-depth in terms of the hit stick as the competitive aspect is, there's still some good news in terms of simulation. But yeah, man, just some of that stuff, man, it just makes me concerned, Smitty, because on the surface, I can understand the sim community being upset when you read some of these things without visuals, without seeing gameplay, and it makes you feel like, oh, so we can't do that in simulation. But it seems like it would be a simulation feature. I mean, even the thing with the quarterbacks with the clean pocket, it's football. Most quarterbacks with a clean pocket gonna hit their target unless they can't pass, right? So to me, why isn't that also in simulation? Now, have no fear, simulation is still governed by rating. So you're still going to get the effect. If it's a third string quarterback, I mean, hey, I'll pick on my own team. A lot of people said Josh Dobbs is not accurate. So if I got to play him, maybe he's still going to miss a target, which is cool. But I think that principle should be in both modes. That principle of having a clean pocket versus an unclean pocket should be the standard. That shouldn't be no separation of competitive and simulation. I'm saying that. So I can clearly agree with you guys who are in an uproar. But all I'm saying is we got to play the game first, man. We trying to give too many suggestions, and what's going to end up happening? We're going to end up messing up simulation mode. That's what's going to happen. You keep talking and yapping before you know what the game really offers, you're going to mess something up. Because remember, feedback is key. So all I'm asking is just wait. Kill the noise. Play the game via EA Access. I know a lot of you guys have it. Or Redbox, whatever. Go to your local GameStop, Best Buy, whoever's going to have it on display. Play it on simulation. Play it on competitive. Get some time in. Then give your feedback. Because Smitty and I can tell you, I don't know if Smitty did, but I know I didn't play on anything but simulation. I don't know if Smitty played competitive or not. And the game felt good to me. Felt good to me. I had no complaints. So until I read this, you see what I'm saying? The visual makes me question some things now, but I know what I felt. So I got to go off of that. But again, last thing I'll say before I throw it to Smitty, this is why EA needs to go back to Madden, needs to go back to the format they had when they used to do the playbooks and the live streams explaining these things. Because when you're just reading text, it's just like, have y'all ever had an argument with somebody on text message?
Mm-hmm.
it ended up being an argument and you ain't even mean it that way. You was like, no, that's not what I'm saying. See what you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't get any feeling from it and no further explanation.
Nope.
So that's just my thoughts on that. But what do you think, Smitty, man, about the whole uproar and everybody, you know, competitive simulation and all of this before they've even played the game?
Yeah, the funny thing about that is, like I had said in the video that I had did, I'm like, I feel at one point, simulation and competitive, it's just going to be one setting. and it's basically going to be NFL. You know what I mean? Like whatever they label it as, and that's what it's going to be, because they bullet pointed those things not because, oh, simulation guys got shafted again. Look what they're doing for them. No, that stuff's happening in simulation. The thing is, they're bullet pointing it for that crowd, and I said it in the video. A lot of tournament / competitive, whatever you want to label it, those guys, a lot of those guys came down to the studio this year. A lot of those guys.
Sure did.
So they're bullet pointing those things for that reason. People, all those a lot of the things that I saw that they bullet pointed in that article in the competitive section, look at the Twitch comments during them tournaments and stuff like that. You saw that a lot in there. A lot of the complaints you would see some of these dudes post on Twitter were those exact things.
Great points.
And they addressed them, and it's in that article. So when they're talking about they got their feet firmly planted and they're standing there and they got clear vision, they're not gonna, the chances of them overthrowing it is gonna be a lot slimmer. Because think about it. You have players that catch passes and that should come down with passes, like, what's my man's name that won the tournament? Who was it? Serious Mo? That won the tournament or whatever? I forgot my man's name. But
the last one?
Yeah, no, this one.
Skimbo,
there it is.
Yeah, my boy.
Skimbo had games. Skimbo had a game where he threw it to the end zone and his guy dropped the pass where it should have been a catch. That's one of the bullet points. So you think Skimbo and guys like that are like, oh, man, that's bull. Man, he should have caught that the first time. How many times do you think people on that scene are saying that? Whether they're saying it during the course of the year in a stream, whether they're trying to partake in a tournament, or whatever the reason. You see what I'm saying? So when you have all of that stuff going on time and time and time again, that's where you get those bullet points of them saying those different things, because they're hitting those points. Boom, 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 boom. This is what we did. Let's highlight this for the tournament crowd. If it's a defender in open field or whatever, oh, more likely he's coming away with it for an INT. They did that on purpose. See what I'm saying? They did that on purpose. So nobody got shafted or nothing like that. And that's the main thing we said. Just like Relly said in his video today. Madden Universe, shout out to him.
Oh, go check that video out. He went in depth. He broke it down.
And the main thing he said was try to tell y'all to chill. And that's what y'all got to do. Y'all got to relax. And I mean, I know it's hard to do that because you don't have gameplay to really go into or really to see and observe. Like we don't have a quarter of gameplay or, anything like that where we could just look at it and watch and say, okay, this is how competitive it is. Oh, okay, this is simulation style. Oh, that's arcade. Oh, I see the differences now. Oh, all right. Well, okay. But see, all we have is just these blogs and nothing but words. And then the trailer, I guess people must have been expecting like a 3-4 minute trailer that's just going to go into everything. But that's why Rex was saying last week, look, it's just letting you know that we got something coming. That this is not going to be the creme de la creme breakdown. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get it all from this trailer or whatever. And that's what Rex said. And he told us already. He said that multiple times on this show, that this is not for us. Those trailers, that's not for us.
Yeah, Rex has said that several times.
Yeah. There's a lot of things Rex has said several times. And, we'll say that for another show. But Rex has made it very, very clear with his position, with how he feels about things, and the way things unfortunately are. And he wants them to, he didn't want it like this. He didn't want it like this. Heck, that was pointed out in Sim's interview. He didn't want it like this. He wanted the game to be showcased already. He wants to showcase the hard work that the team put in. He wants y'all to see it. That's what the hope was with EA Play. You know what I'm saying? Like to get the footage so y'all could saw it. So what we're all in wait, but like Sim said, like I've said, Redbox, EA Access, all that good stuff. Hey, somebody returns a copy, do the GameStop rental. You know what I mean? You got that 7-day limit. If it's on point, go ahead and play. Keep it. If it's not to you, then trade that boy back in, get your cash.
That's it, man.
You know what I'm saying? Simple as that. But I'm just saying that I think that, you know, there was a lot of overreaction, people wilding out. But you know what? This is a funny thing. Footage, no footage. People wild out anyway. The years that we would have footage, that we would have quarters and stuff like that. Remember E3 said we went to EA, we had a quarter's worth of footage to showcase. We put it all out there, and people still clowned out of the way. Man, so it's like
first.
Yeah,
that's always the end result. That's what makes me laugh, Smitty. That's always gonna be the case. So why do y'all jump out the window when you know you're not gonna be satisfied until you see for yourself? And when I say see, I mean with these, not with these.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
That's all I'm saying. So, but now I ended up at that point because that's pretty much it, man. I mean, so throw it to you.
Yeah, man. I definitely want to go into the last topic, which would be on the ratings. Guys, you know, like I said in the chat, apologize. We're not going to be able to take calls tonight, man. Can't go too far past, 10 o'clock. I've got family coming in this weekend. I got some things to get done. But hey, next week, man, we'll open it up for more calls. But this was a night where we had so much to talk about. I didn't want to get off topic, if you know what I mean. I wanted to hit all of these things because a lot of you guys had been asking me, hey, man, how do you feel about this? How you feel about that? And those were the actual questions that we answered. But I'm looking for one thing here in the chat that I replied to. Give me a second. Drizzy Leon asked the question. I'm trying to find it. And I told him I would hit on it in a minute. Hold on, guys. Give me a second. This chat is hard to. Here we go. I think I found it. Okay. Before we get into ratings, I wanted to address a comment he made because this is something that Millennium OS has said. I think he said it publicly, but I know he definitely told it to me on the plane back when we came back from EA Play. Drizzy89 Leon says, how are they going to regulate updates? Feedback should have voice leaders. Twitter users often just rant. Now, off of that, this is what we're trying to build amongst ourselves. Again, one of the main idea really came from Millennium OS. Shout outs to Mills. Let me position this the right way because I don't want anybody to feel like you're being shut out. But what we're gonna try to do amongst ourselves is guys who are predominant in the community, like guys who are always vocal. Like, for example, you could clearly put us in that category. We're doing a podcast. We're game changers. We're always doing this. We're always doing, obviously our voice is heard more than a lot of others because you just don't make videos and such. So we would be a part of that. Millennium OS would be a part of that, with Operation Sports. Guys like Relly, and there's several others. But I guess you guys get the gist of what I'm saying. And what we're going to do ourselves is collect a lot of information, kind of be like the devs and scour all of the community and, and then relay that to the devs. Like, look, these are the main things. Because it has to get to a point where there's certain voices or quote unquote community voice leaders or what have you that's delivering the info. Because listen, all of that ranting and stuff on Twitter, it gets diluted. And the devs are not going to listen to it. So basically what we're doing is like we've always done, but we're going to actually start working together and giving you guys, access to us so we can share your ideas. Because trust me, all of that stuff y'all saying on Twitter, yeah, they're not listening. I'm not lying to you. I am telling you what I know. When you go crazy and curse or just ranting about something that totally stupid, they don't listen. Sometimes you get muted. I'm kicking it real to y'all. So if you really want something to be heard, I'm not saying that we're the only ones, but guys like us can really deliver that feedback. Y'all have seen me do this in the past with videos when I've shouted out guys, yo, shout out to so-and-so. He actually gave me that idea and I delivered it. Like, and you know I did, because I've even said that to Rex publicly. So we're going to do that amongst ourselves. Some of us guys who, like I said, are really out here in the community that kind of, you know, we coexist and we mingle at certain functions, and we're going to try to do that, man, and work together. So I could be like, yo, yo, Millennium, what you hearing over there at OS? Oh, okay, well, my guys, you know, or our crowd is saying this, and this crowd, you know, and that way we can give a real consensus, because I ain't trying to let y'all mess this up, man. I'm saying y'all because we all included. I ain't trying to let y'all mess it up. We done got this simulation setting, and listen, I'm gonna be very hard on it, man, this year. Like when I see stuff that's crazy, and I know it's all opinion, but when there's 20 people and 18 feel a certain way, no, this ain't gonna be like the courts, and we ain't gonna have no mistrial. The 18 gonna win. That's gonna be the consensus. That the other two, listen, bro, I feel you, but if 18 people are saying this, that's got to be what it is. That's how we gonna approach the feedback that we deliver for this mode. Because I'm telling you, Smitty knows this as well as I do. We saw it happen before with aggressive catch. We saw how divided the community was with that. When you had guys like NY Kia beautifully display how to defend it. 20-something minute video. And still, yeah. Guess what? It gets nerfed. Mm-hmm. And now all of these receivers are playing alike. Now your favorite receiver on your team is dropping everything. He can't win a one-on-one battle. I ain't letting it happen in the simulation. I'm telling y'all right now. We asked for it. We got it. But at the very least, play the game first before you start yapping. Play it first. That's all I'm asking. And then if we hate it, we hate it. And we all gonna go crazy. But play it first. That's all I'm asking. And real quick, Smitty, I don't think we need to spend a lot of time here on the ratings, man. I'll kick it off. It's almost the same conversation, Smitty, to be honest. I see all of this bickering over ratings. And I say this every single year. What's the right rating? Can somebody please tell me what is the definitive rating for Tom Brady? Like, what is the correct rating? Do y'all realize ratings are purely, it's solely subjective? From you, from me, from Dustin, who does ratings. Hell, when Donnie Moore was there, it's subjective. Now, what I like about Dustin, shout outs to him, at Equipment Guru on Twitter. He tells you exactly what he's doing. He put out a tweet earlier today and said, listen, man, I feel like I got to say this every year. These ratings are on pure speculation as to what we think these guys are going to do. This is the reason why we have rating updates throughout the year. You can't explain it no better than that. It's pure speculation. But my question is, Smitty, people beef over 95 and 96. What is the difference? What is the real difference that you can define right there? But furthermore, what makes you right? Like what makes you right? Because you say 82 and I say 83. So what I'm saying is, ultimately what I'm trying to say is this community of ours spending our time arguing over the wrong stuff. That's why, let's be real. That's one of the reasons why some of these other modes have gotten more attention. Because they don't have this. A lot of those people, especially in the competitive world, I've had a conversation with these guys. A lot of times they all see eye to eye. Or they have conversations and they be like, you know what's going to be the best thing for the game? And they suggest that. Did you not hear Relly say that on the show? Man, we need to have more of these. He's not pulling that idea out of his butt. He's saying that because we have to start doing this, merging. Like Smitty said, it needs to end up being one setting because both the sim guys and the competitive guys can agree on quite a few things that create the football experience. But because listen, I'm telling you, our community is the only one to do it. Y'all out here arguing over ratings. Like, what difference do it make? Whether Tom Brady, I didn't even look, because after people said what they said, who cares? Like, people were saying, oh, Le'Veon Bell shouldn't be 97. He should be no more than 95. How different is he going to play at 95? Listen, that's just my thoughts on the Smitty. But what I will say about ratings in general, because I got to give a general description as well. I actually was pleased with the rookie ratings, so to speak. Let me browse through them real quick before I throw it to you. What I was pleased about is there wasn't a ton of them that were high. That's a change. You got Myles Garrett at 83. Again, I don't know what makes that. And again, it's all speculation on what they think they're going to do. They got his strength at a 96. He proceeds to be a strong guy. Agility 83, acceleration 90. I don't know his speed. They got his speed at 84. But what I'm saying, I don't know him. Like, I don't know him to be known for. I don't know. I didn't follow Myles Garrett that much. But 83 is still not extremely high. You know, it's up there. Then you got O.J. Howard at an 82. Now, I did watch Alabama play, and I know, 205 probably somewhere saying roll tide. That kid, yeah, tight end, just based on that position, yeah, he probably should be in the 80s, just based on what I saw. But then if you look at everybody else, even Leonard Fournette is an 81 overall. Jamal Adams, 81. Christian McCaffrey, 81. That dude is like a Swiss Army knife. I can't really argue with that. They gave him, he's known to be fast. They gave him a 91 speed, 96 agility. I mean, it kind of sounds like how he plays, but again, here's the real problem, Smitty. And I will say this is a gift and a curse. The gift is we don't know what makes up the rating. The curse is we don't know what makes up the ratings. So that's where the argument comes into play. But even with that being said, it goes back to my point. How can you justify the number that you would have gave the player when you have no idea how the formula is created? That's my question. Why we go so crazy and we don't know how they come up with this stuff. What I plan to do, man, if I get the opportunity to go to EA, I don't know if this is going to happen, but I'm going to holler at Dustin offline. I want to see if I can get an interview with him if, powers that be have to permit it, and see if maybe in interview form he can explain their formula. Maybe that would help. I don't know if it'll happen, but maybe that'll help. But, that's how I kind of feel about it, man. Even if you look at guys like TJ Watt, you would expect me to want him to have more because, but I'm not a homer. It is what it is. His rating isn't that high. So last thing I would say, Smitty, I didn't think that the ratings were extremely high, in my opinion, so I don't have a big problem with them. And furthermore, I don't know the formula, so I can't really complain when I don't know what creates these ratings. So that's just my 2 cents on that, man. What you think?
See, I think that, while you look at, like, I see some guys posting here in the comments, like Tom Brady's a 99 overall at quarterback. And see, me personally,
this is my question. Where should he be, though?
Well, this would be my thing. I would rate him not necessarily on great arm strength and stuff like that. But I would rate him. This is where you got to have other categories that matter.
Right.
Leadership, traits, things like that. Like elite level, like ridiculously high superstar trait. Top level, elite leader, leadership and things like that. Extreme motivator, things like that. Like there has to be other facets that make him an overall high like that. Because you can't necessarily just rate him off of skill and say, hey, he's a 99 overall quarterback.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? There's got to be more to it than just his ability on the field in terms of skills with the ball in his hand. Like, what about, younger QBs, Aaron Rodgers and Matt Ryan or what have you. What about those guys? You know what I'm saying? Even Big Ben, you know, like what about those guys? What drops Big Ben to a 91 but puts Tom Brady at a 99? What would do that? See what I mean? And yeah, like you said, drawing that conclusion. How did you get to that conclusion? You know, like what did it take for you to get to that conclusion to say that he earned the rating that he earned? That's the kind of stuff. And yeah, like what Neff is saying here, if you take the overall number, see, this is what I've said, and we've had our discussions. I'd rather it be about traits and abilities. Elite level this. You know, he's known, he's one of the best at this. He's in the middle of the road with that. And that's what you're describing there. Because, like, okay, just real quickly. What does it say here? Okay, Tom Brady. Let me just talk about it here real quick, right? All right, you hear that? That's the silence of Brady's critics. He's the GOAT. You get to be named that after winning 5 Super Bowl rings. The most recent was win after the greatest comeback Super Bowl history. For that, he earned his spot. Inside sources at EA say business. Okay, well, whatever. So they basically gave him that for being a cover guy, but hold on. See,
and what's crazy too, Smitty, while you're on him real quick, not to cut you off.
Yeah, no.
If you look at the 5 ratings that they show, like if you just look at the quarterbacks, speed 62, acceleration 66, agility 67, strength 64. Now, I'm not a rocket scientist, but how did they get to 99?
Right.
It must be that a 99 awareness is what did it, because you know, when you play CFM, there's certain things that you adjust that does move.
Yeah, that bump you up
overall a little more. I hate to give y'all that nugget for guys that don't know, but awareness is definitely one of them. So that's the thing. How did he get to 99 when you see all those other things that you think would be important are low? See?
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's true. See, I think it's the awareness, but then also the combination of the passing ability.
Right.
That bumps him up that high. So, that's the whole point. Get rid of the numbers that you can see on the surface and make it about abilities and what tiers. Because he may not be an elite passer like that, but at the same time, though, there's other qualities that put him in that top echelon and make him one of the best in the game, if not the best. That I'd rather see than, 99 overall. And even if they described it in more of a football sense, which they truly didn't do here, but they made it more fun. But if they did, then you could talk to it a lot more. And talk about he's elite level this, top level that, middle of the road with this. You know what I mean? And like those are the kind of things that we can identify with in terms of discussing football and stuff like that. Because that's it's terminology that they use when they describe players. And that's kind of stuff that we need to see in Madden. So but outside of that, that's what I'm saying. Like you said, it's all subjective. So as long as these players play out the way they're supposed to in game, then I'm good. That's all that matters to me. I care less about numerical rating, especially once we do our CFMs and stuff. It really ain't gonna matter because the ratings are gonna change. So,
yeah,
that's it, man.
The sad truth is, throw some truth at y'all real quick. Let's think about business, right? And some of y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, because I'll be first to say I don't fully know. What other sports game in the last 5 years doesn't have an overall rating for a player? Think about that for a minute. I'll give you a few seconds. All right. Now, I agree. We agree. Smitty and I both, and Azure, we agree that all pro football was done the best way in terms of visual presentation. Because you know what they did? They did this. They put the wool over our eyes a little bit. I say a little bit because all they did is they introduced abilities, which was great. And they were a plethora of them, right? And they made us all think that this guy has rocket arm, this guy has the trucking ability, this guy has, elite route runner. Great. And it performed, yeah, for the most part, it did perform on the field. Not always, because we know there were times that even though you could get a gold receiver sometimes would dust the bronze guy, but sometimes you would see the bronze dude would stay with him. So it still was that give and take, you know, dice roll effect and stuff like that. But follow what I'm trying to say. That was a great presentation. I prefer Madden do that. Would love it. They got close with Madden 08. Still had the numericals, but then they tricked us by making us focus on weapons. You found yourself looking at that icon like, oh man, I better not throw over there. Oh Lord, Palomalu gonna jump the count. Oh Lord, Peyton Manning, you know, like the quarter he had that huge awareness and smart quarterback. So we were focusing on those. The numericals were still there. All Pro Football had numericals underneath. So I agree with the presentation. But here's the cold, hard truth. You can't sell that. Let's think about business. You can't sell it. Because you've created this environment. All the sports games do it. Even the precious 2K with basketball, they all do it. Now 2K has badges. Yes, they do. But they all have the overall rating. And what I'm saying is that's the industry. And especially a game like Madden at this point, like I agree, it should change. But let me just let you inside to the way I think a little bit. You know, I'm fortunate enough to be able to have been involved with business and stuff. And I just think from all aspects, right? That's why y'all always hear me say, no, I need Madden to get more traits. Y'all rarely hear me say, take away the overalls. That would be great, but I know that ain't gonna happen. Look at Mutt. Look at what we're doing right now. Ratings come out and we're having discussion. Marketing is eating it up. I mean, they got ketchup on the A1 sauce. Eating it up. That's not gonna change. I hate to say it. That ain't changing. Because they've built this environment, and like I said, it ain't just Madden. But especially Madden with the MUT cards and stuff, even though there's all of those abilities in MUT and the chemistry and all that, what is the biggest thing? People say, whoa, a 95 overall, whoa, a 99. It's that number. That ain't going to change. So when you hear me ask for change, what do I say? Give me more traits, man. Y'all got the trait system in there. Now let's get more of them. Keep the number, but give me the traits so I can put, you know, this cornerback, you know, he plays, he's real good with jumping slant routes or whatever the trait would be. All right, I want him because I'm going to put him in the slot. Even though, you know, his overall ain't that good, but he's good at reading those routes. And every time I play Smitty, he like to he love to run that little skinny poke. You see what I'm saying? Now we got a game, and we won't even be thinking about those numbers. The sim heads will be worrying about what the ability is. So that's why I'm saying, man, just letting y'all see it from my eyes, that's how I give my feedback. I sit back and I look at the marketing side of it and like, okay, what is EA as a corporation? Those voices that we hear on the investors call, what are they going to do? Once I realize what they're going to do, then I decide how I'm going to feed it to the devs. Like, all right, what if we do it like this? Because obviously they ain't going to let us take away that number. It happened in CFM. Give y'all another secret or old story. Didn't y'all see the last year or two in scouting? It changed to the letters and stuff. That was us, along with others. That was our feedback. Hey, man, I'd rather see that instead of seeing this. And they hid it. You see what I'm saying? It's like grandma that, you know, if you ain't like to take medicine, she give you the applesauce and just tuck that medicine. They hid it. See what I'm saying? They hid that. I ain't gonna say they hid it from marketing, but that was a way for them to sneak it in there and ain't nobody gonna cry. That's what we're gonna have to do, guys. We gotta fight for what EA already has. They have a trait system. They once had the dynamic performance. They once had weapons. That's the way that we need to start telling them, hey, man, we need to, you know, oh, here it is. Here's perfect example. Do what 2K is doing right now. We need all them badges. And you can keep your little numerical rating, but give me the badges that's going to determine how my player plays. Right. And I'm happy.
Yep.
But them ratings, they ain't going nowhere. Trust me. that's the industry, man. With these card collecting and all, they can't go away from it. It's too hard to do that unless they somehow sneak it into CFM. But then we're gonna have the same conversation we got now, Smitty, like with the play styles. Then you're gonna have people saying, "Oh, well, I want that at MUT too." So just try to look at it like that, guys. Like, listen, we're not the smartest people in the world. You know, we just try to use the little intelligence that we have and the knowledge that we have from being with the company, like, you know, behind the door and seeing how things have. And even if you're not with, you know, a game changer and got access, you got your own eyes, man. You've seen how this industry has transpired and what they've done with Madden. So you got to find ways to give them the feedback in the way that you know they can deliver it without bumping heads with marketing. And if you don't believe me, you've heard Rex said 1,000 times. I have to always convince them what needs to be in the game. See? All you got to do is pay attention, man, and you know how to deliver your feedback, and you know exactly what's going on. I just need y'all to pay attention, man. That's all. That's all I got. All right, Smitty, this was a great show, man. I hope you guys enjoyed it, man. We really appreciate the crowd. I mean, even right now, 118 people watching live. We had gotten up to 152. That's great. 56 likes on the video to only 2 dislikes. I'll take those odds any day. I'll take them with me to Vegas. Great odds right there. But what you got, Smitty? What's your last words, man? Any last assessment you want to speak on before we get out of here? Schmitter.
Yeah.
Anything you got before we go?
Nothing else that I got. No, other than like always, I appreciate everybody that came through, that did come through, that hung out with us and broke bread. Like I said, 150 some odd people out here came through and spent some quality time with us. So it was definitely a lot of fun. But no, like, I appreciate all you guys, and hey, it's another week closer to Madden releasing. So I look forward to seeing what other news or things like that get released here in the coming weeks, especially for live. So hey, we'll see.
Yeah, man. Stay tuned, man. And I can confirm. I can't tell you how, and I can't tell you who, I can't tell you when. But I'll leave you with this. Gameplay will be coming. Y'all will see the game before launch. You'll see the game before EA Access. That's all I can say. I don't know how much that helps. Again, me, I'm the type of guy that I need to play a game. Just looking at it don't do nothing. Again, let's go back to women. She looked good as I don't know what. But I need to hear what she about. I need to know everything about her personality, this and that. How she, how she takes care of herself. And you know what I'm saying? Just looking ain't gonna do nothing. It's gonna make you peep like that. But that you might get up there and be like, never mind. Same thing with Matt. It's the same thing, man. You have to fill it out for yourself. So that's all I would say with all of these games. 2K, live. I know is every game that we talked about tonight, there's somebody who can't stand that game. So for every one of those games, fill it out, play it for yourself, make your decision, and listen, man, we're getting close. And be excited, man, because as of tomorrow, all of our teams should be in training camp. I'm hyped. We got football coming. So we'll be back next week, guys, hopefully. So, hey, there you have it. Appreciate everybody coming through. We promise the next time we'll be able to get some calls in, and y'all be easy. Have a good weekend. We catch y'all later. Peace.
Peace.